Alright, if you guys don't mind, I think before I get to today's video, I'm going to go for a little rip. We had a fair bit of snow last night, so dig the old sled out and go for a ride. I bought the new sled, but it's one of the reasons I feel a little guilty. This one runs so good. Now, I did give it a good check over. I did notice a couple of things. So the hood latches here, this is fairly typical. They wear out because they're only rubber. I do have some new ones. I've also got an idler wheel under here that is going to need to be replaced. The rubber is missing, but the rest of them are on there. So, you know, I'm not going too crazy. I'm just going for a little boot. So we should be all right. Got a little bit of powder. You know, really the ground's too soft. I mean, if you see that, I still went down into the grass, but we're not going to go far. Just feels good to get out and ride, even if it's not far. It's a nice day, actually. It's not too cold, but it was pretty cold overnight, so the ground's all frozen. Hopefully we got enough on the road that I'm not grinding carbide too much. It's funny, I got a new sled and I got a new BB2S, and I'm not using either from my first ride of the season. Yeah, it's so funny, you know, when you first get your sled, you spend your time avoiding the really deep stuff and worrying about getting stuck, and then once you've been riding it a few years, you just like, bring on the deep snow. You know, right here, this little conservation area, and I always kind of want to ride over into it, and I always worry about getting stuck. Now it's like, come on, give me deeper snow. I've been down here a couple of times with the ATV. It's a really kind of pretty area. I come down and shoot video a lot. Just a little tip for you guys too, if you are new to riding. You do want to make sure your sled's in snow wherever you can. The high facts, or the slider shoes underneath your rear suspension, they're lubricated with snow, right? That's why your track has those windows in it. So if you spend too much time just running roads or running on hardpack, you're not getting enough snow in there to lubricate that suspension. So wherever you can, you want to get into some snow. You gotta love the first ride of the season. So welcome back to the channel, guys, and for those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. I am David Clark. This is my old sled, and this is my old helmet. I dug this out because in today's video we're going to do a product test. Recently, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I did a video about visor fogging. It's a real pain in the ass for a lot of people. Actually, after I did that video, I did have a few people that commented or sent me messages that no matter what they do, visor fogging is still a problem for them. The other thing that happened after I did that video was a company called WeeTech reached out to me. And they asked me if I would test a product for them. So I didn't buy this, full disclosure. This is something that was sent to me. They asked me if I could test out their anti-fog visor insert. All right, this should be a perfect test because I actually have two identical helmets with two identical visors, and these visors are really easy to remove from this particular helmet. So this is perfect for doing a test for this. So we're going to do all that in 2 seconds, so stick around. This is the channel where we discuss all things snowmobiling. So if you haven't already, take a second, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell icon. You'll get notified when I post anything new. I try to do as often as I can. All right, guys, visor fogging is a big problem for snowmobilers. I did do another video that covered that. I'll put a link to that video in the description for this one. Now, because it's such a big problem, there's a lot of products on the market to help you deal with it. So this is one of them. There's a couple of different types of this kind of product on the market. So this one is called the WeePro anti-fog visor insert, and basically what this is it's a material that will absorb moisture, right? So rather than your breath condensing on the lens and fogging it up, this material will absorb it, and it's supposed to keep your lens clear. So this is a film that you apply to the inside of the lens. So we're going to go inside and do that. Like I said, I have two identical helmets. I'm going to apply this to one and not the other, and we'll just see how much of a difference this thing really makes. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the visor, which is easy to do with these helmets. Inside of this, so we have two here. One is the actual anti-fog film, and the other one is an alignment template. Then the insert in the package has the instructions on it. And then we have like a little lint-free cloth inside of here as well. One of the things that I think is important if you're going to test a product is to follow the manufacturer's instructions. And the first step is to wash your hands. We want to get any oil off of them that might mark the visor. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is clean the lens. So now that my hands are clean, I'm going to take this little lint-free cloth out, and I am going to wipe the inside of this visor. When you get the visor insert, there's actually two pieces of film here. So the one on the inside with the red tab is a positioning film. So I'm going to apply that to the outside of the visor. That's just going to help me position the inside one. So we're going to take the one with the red tag and peel it off. I'm going to find a landmark on the visor. So right here, that M is about in the center. So I'm just going to take this template and I'm going to line it up with that in the center of the visor. And I'm just going to position it till I've got the most coverage and it's centered. So if you see in the middle here now, I've got kind of a black crosshair in the middle of the lens. That's just going to help me line the anti-fog insert up. So I'm just going to take this and bend it slightly. Okay, then we're just going to take this cloth and press around the seal. And then the inside here, I'm going to lift this little tab and we're going to peel this film off. And then on the outside, we're going to remove that positioning mask. All right, so your visor fogs up when your warm, moist breath condenses on a cold surface. So the first part of this test, we're just going to take these two visors. This one has the WeePro insert on it. This one does not. We're going to leave them out on the front of my ATV. And we're going to just leave them out here for about 45 minutes. Let them cool down to the ambient temperature first. All right, first thing we'll do is just a simple breath test. We'll breathe on it. You can see through that. That's actually fogged up pretty good. Okay, and now this is the one with that visor insert on it. And that actually hasn't fogged up at all. I don't know if you can see that. Let's do another test. It's steaming pretty good. That's fogging up pretty good. That's definitely better. I don't know if you can see that it's fogged outside, but the visor insert's clear. So I guess the only thing now we can do to test it is to put the helmet on and go for a ride. So I'll take one for the team. Alright guys, for yesterday's video I had to keep the visor open to keep it from fogging up. So let's just try it with it down. So the visor didn't fog up, but my glasses did. So I know that it should be fogging up if my glasses fogged up like that. and it's totally clear right now. Let's just ride for a little bit. So even when I'm blowing onto the visor, it's still not fogging up. Alright, so that wasn't an exhaustive test by any means, but it did give me a pretty good idea of how this product works. And I'd say it works pretty good. I think if you were a motorcycle rider, I think it would work great. I think on a snowmobile, the colder temperatures we ride in, it may end up getting a little bit too much for that visor insert. In that test, I did get a little bit of condensation right around the bottom of the helmet where I was breathing, not enough to obscure the visor by any means. But remember, I took the breath deflector out of the helmet for that test, and it still worked pretty good. So I would say with that in, it would have worked great. I'm actually really glad that I did that last test because I didn't take my glasses into account. So remember that if you wear prescription lenses. It's pretty easy to forget, you wear them all the time, but the visor stayed fog free, but my glasses fogged up in about 5 seconds. All right, so I think I covered visor fogging pretty well, but if any of you guys wear glasses and you've come up with anything for that, post a comment below. So there was a couple of questions that I had about the product that I'll answer for you. One, the product is completely clear. So if you apply it carefully and you make sure that the visor is clean and that the insert is clean when you put it on, it didn't distort the vision at all. The other question I had is, can you remove the insert from the visor if you decide it's not doing what you want it to? And yes, you can. The adhesive will hold it in place well, but it's not so strong that you can't just peel it off the lens afterwards. All right, guys, so that's the WeePro anti-fog visor insert. So would I recommend this for a snowmobiler? So those are two fairly straightforward tests, and I would say that based on that, there is definitely a difference in how much a visor treated with this will fog up versus one that isn't. Now that said, I would really want to test this thing over a longer period of time in colder temperatures that we typically ride in. But based on those tests, I would definitely say this is worth trying if you've got a fogging problem. I think these retail for about 20 bucks, so it's definitely worth a try. All right, guys, I think that's it for this video. If you found that interesting or entertaining, or if you want to see more product-related videos like this one, do me a favor, click that thumbs up. Until next time, I'm David Clark. Thanks for taking the time to watch. So first off, I got comments from but it's not a paid endorsement, right? I'm not being paid to advertise this product. We're going to give it a genuinely all right, guys, so visor fogging is a huge pain in the arse. Quiet, guys. Stop. All right, so visor problem.